everyone, and welcome to Thursday Live Lesson here on Ukulele on the Ground. My name is Aldrine and we have special guest, Mr. Abe.
Hey, what's up,
buddy? So, tell us a little bit about yourself and tell us what it is that you do so that our audience can say hello to you and get to know you better.
Hello, my name is Abe. I'm not Japanese. Most people ask me what is up with my name, so I'll start there. My name is actually Abraham, and usually I write Abe because I'm lazy. And one day a friend wrote, he saw Abe and he just started calling me Abe. So it became my nickname. And at a certain point, after a lot of reluctance, because I felt like it was weird introducing myself as my nickname, I just started using it and said, it's Abe. And then when people see it written now, they're like, that's not... Yes, it is. It is Abe. So I'm
now.
Guess what?
I thought it was Abe.
I changed
I've been
it.
saying Abe wrong this whole time.
There are people who still call me Abraham and Abe, so I almost never correct people.
Yeah.
But what I found is over time, my friends will start correcting others and they'll say, it's Abe. And then they'll be like, what? But I called him Abe. Why is it Abe? And then, but anyway, that's my name. Don't wear it out. No. I'm a player and a teacher, and I make a podcast called Abe's Ukulele Podcast. And it's for players and teachers like myself who just want to get better. I also make music, and I teach in a school. So I find myself around ukulele a lot.
So you're like a legit teacher with like a degree and
music education. Wow. But I studied percussion and voice, so my training was in marimba mostly, and
that
singing.
Translates. Like
yeah, it does kind of. Just hit it with a mallet. No.
All right. So
have you had Abe on your podcast?
Abe Lagrinas?
Yeah.
No, I have not.
The Abe and Abe podcast.
Actually, I had a reviewer say on iTunes like, oh my gosh, Abe is such a great workshop and performer and so on and so forth, and then she came back later and edited it and said, actually, I thought this was Abe Lagrimas. I'm so sorry. It's okay. No. I do want to meet Abe at some point. Abe, if you're listening.
Yeah, because he's a fantastic vibraphone player.
Yeah.
Is he going to be there this weekend for the festival?
I'm not sure. I haven't heard that he is. I mean, there's a few special guests that were added last minute.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'll be there Sunday, sticking my mic in people's faces. Unless I'm too tired. I don't know. I've had a long week.
Also joining us, as per usual, is Mr. Aaron, the voice now converse. Say what's up, Aaron?
What's up?
And Mr. Kahai, the legend, Fergan. Say what's up, Kahai?
What's up?
So Thursday Live Lesson is where we answer any and all of your questions. So whatever questions we get via email, via hey, what's up on the side of the road. So yeah, I know that's a Filipino in me going, hey, can I ask you a question?
Did you get that a lot walking around? Actually, you did this morning, right?
What?
Somebody just did that this morning at Tip Top.
Yeah. So we were at Tip Top. I mean, that it doesn't happen often. So like that's like a rare occurrence. Don't think that like everywhere I go, people are like, oh my god,
a restaurant.
Yeah. So we were at Tip Top, the restaurant in Lihui. If you guys are ever on Kauai, check out Tip Top. We just had breakfast there, and we sat down, and immediately somebody like that was like across from us. They're like, "Oh, I just want to say hi," and so I was like, "Oh, hey, it's cool." And he's like, "Oh, watch your videos all the time." And blah, blah, blah. Cool. I was like, "Oh, how long you been playing ukulele?" He's like, "Actually, I stopped playing." He's like, "I stopped playing, but I still watch your videos. Good videos." And I was like, "That's cool. You pick it back up. Don't worry." So it was cool. Yeah, not like an everyday thing. I guess it just depends where I go. It's It doesn't happen often, but it is town. Like Lihui is the main town on Kauai, and so I guess that would be the highest chance of getting recognized. Maybe that's why I took you there.
I don't know. I
paid that guy.
I thought you'd be a hometown hero or something. Everywhere you go.
Here on Kauai, I love it actually here, and I think I don't know if I've told that story of like this celebrity who was at Homura Simon in this Simon place, and it's a super busy Simon place, and you can't get seats there at certain parts of the day, and so this let's just call her Jane. I don't want to say who. Jane, very famous Olympian. He's won gold medals for stuff.
You're narrowing it down now.
Yeah. Jane, was here. There's lots of different events and stuff, So Jane's there, and they're like, and she's like, he's like, I'm trying to make it more confusing, but why can't I get seated? Do you guys know who I am and whatever? And, all the people knew who he or she was. It's just like, no one does that here on Kauai. Like, because here on Kauai, it's such a small island, everyone knows each other and stuff. If you think you're better than, you know, like other people, it'll quickly get around and you will not get served anywhere. You know? And people come here for peace and quiet. We get a lot of celebrities that come here for those reasons. You know, we got
that nobody recognizes them.
Yeah,
Or nobody
you know,
really
like
cares.
Trey Parker, Matt Stone, and stuff. Like the people who created South Park, they have homes up in the North Shore. They like it here because nobody bothers them. You know?
Like Ben Stiller, Jack Black. Yeah.
I think Oprah has a house here too. Will Smith has a place here. There's a lot of celebrities and stuff. So, you know, if I'm gonna be like, and Hamura's like, how come I'm not being seated? You know, like I made Ukulele Underground. I'm your hometown hero.
No one cares.
You're like, no, treat sit down.
man.
So actually, go back in the back of the line now. Go even further back.
I think one time I saw somebody wearing a Ukulele Underground shirt.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, I actually work for that company.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, cool. What does this company do? I just bought the
Somebody
shirt.
just
I
gave this
didn't
to
know.
me.
Yeah. I was like,
What even is this?
Yeah.
What's a ukulele?
Okay. Yeah.
All right, so on the show, like I said, we answer any of all of your emails and questions and stuff via Ukulele Underground, via email, via, like I was saying. Guy usually reads them to me. I try to answer as best as I can, and then these three guys are going to be chiming in. We're going to come up with the best answer possible. So Kahai, hit me up with some questions, buddy.
We only really had one question this week.
Let's go. We'll stretch out that one question.
Let's make it last.
Well, we are also live, so there are people chatting and stuff, and they can definitely ask some questions and stuff. If you have any ukulele related questions or just questions in general, you know, we'll just
or questions for Abe.
Oh yeah, questions for Abe, because he's here, special guest.
Why is your hair so
silky? His Pantene. Maybe it's Maybelline.
I don't know. Just give me shampoo. I'm happy.
So James said, in regard to the nails on your right hand for strumming and picking the ukulele, in your personal opinion, would you recommend growing all the nails on your right hand or just the thumb? I asked this out of plain curiosity because I'm used to trimming all nails, but I've been noticing how much longer nails help other players. Thank you.
Yeah, long nails definitely, you know, is easier, but the longer the nail is, like the I feel like the tone doesn't, you know, doesn't quite stay. It doesn't carry over because you want a combination of the nail and the flesh, because the flesh is going to give the density behind the hit. So if you're mainly relying on the nail, it's going to be a really lighter hit, so it's going to be a more brighter sound. You want a nice nice full sound from your ukulele. I know a lot of people like that bright sound and stuff, but you want there to be body, you know, in there instead of just getting all highs with the with the nail. But the nail is good because it glides through the glides through the strings a lot better. So if I'm doing rolls and strums like that, you know, whenever I do a roll, I just let the nails kind of do all the work. I let it just kind of glide over my strings like this. But then the density behind that comes from the flesh. If it was too long, then you would hear like the nails kind of going on the nail, ukulele, just the nail hitting that and stuff. And if I'm using my thumb, which I use for picking, if the nail is longer, then it'll just kind of rely on the nail to do the hits. But then with a shorter nail, my nail is extremely short for today's episode. But I like to kind of go flesh first, then hit the nail, then go out. Imagine being at the edge of a curb, you know, on the sidewalk and stuff. So here's your foot, and here's like the curb. For all you viewers out there, you kind of here. So you want to step on it, and you want to just kind of slide down. So that's what I do with my flesh, and then slide down, hit it with the hit the string. You get a nice like whole tone instead of just getting this tone with just the nail. You get a nice with body. This is what it would sound like with just nail. That'll be a little bit more, you know, brighter. And you get a better sustain with it also. So, yes, growing out nails is easier, but be careful not to grow them out too long. Find kind of the sweet spot for yourself. These are kind of a little too long right now. I would go a little bit shorter, but it's mostly for rolls and just kind of doing stuff like that. Some finger picking, it might help. But even finger picking, because you're kind of doing this, so you're hitting more flesh first and then to the nail anyway. If your nails are too long, then it's going to be definitely all nail. So you want there to be a little bit of flesh in there to get some density behind your heads. What do you guys think? Abe?
Well, my nails are almost always really short. If you look at classical guitarists, their nails are a little bit longer than that. Often, personally, I think it's kind of creepy. Have one really long and one really short. But I would say the biggest consideration is tone, right? Like if you like the tone, try growing out your nails. You have to take care of them. Some people have to glue on nails because they play so hard, especially with tremolos.
Yeah, shout out to Uncle Brian.
Yeah.
His fancy sparkly nails.
Brian Tolentino, also he uses thumb picks. You could try that, the ones that slide over your thumb, and then you can have the same motion, which is kind of nice. I was talking to Kimo Hussey yesterday, and he said, I never grow my nails out, and I never use picks because I like the tone of...
Yeah,
he likes
his
mellow,
style is
yeah.
very mellow.
Yeah, So
whenever you do that, you gotta kind of look around. You gotta go like this. Yeah, you gotta, I've watched that HMS podcast.
You gotta sell it,
dude.
Stank
Corey,
face?
is it Corey Fujimoto who did that?
Yeah.
Corey Fujimoto did the stank face in that podcast. It was spot on. I was like, every time someone's gonna do a Kimo Hussey impression, they gotta do that now. You gotta do like the look around, like the tongue in cheek, So good. Check out their podcast as well. HMS is an awesome podcast.
But like I was saying, anyway, just the tone I think is the most important consideration. And your nails are free to grow, so grow them out, take care of them, and see how it sounds. I don't like it. You do. That's okay. Either way, I know sometimes I feel like I wish I had a little more nails so I can have that, just a little more of that. And like you were saying with the flesh, if they get too long, then they're just weak and weird. But you can also try a pick that gives you the sound without growing out your nails. Hey, that works.
Yeah. So just tone it, whatever it is that you prefer. Like it's really apples and oranges at that point. So, I say that it's easier with with the nail because you can kind of pick down and up, and that's why I use nails.
Yeah.
But then really you do like a different technique to get the down and up. Maybe a pointer and thumb or pointer and middle. You can kind of do that to get it to get a little bit better. But any which way we look at it, it's mainly just tone.
Yeah, and it's dependent kind of on the style that you're playing or your preferred way of playing. So.
Yeah. All right, Kahai, do we have any questions from the audience?
Yeah. This might be a kind of a hard question.
There's no question too hard. not for this collective group, Kahai.
You're not gonna. Okay. So Trent said, "How do you figure out major seventh chords? Is there a formula?"
Yes.
But I don't know if
there is.
Well, it's I don't know if he means the actual position you play it at, or
there's also formula for that.
Yeah. So that question, I wasn't
Yeah, that's great because we have somebody who has a degree in that in house. So I'll let you explain. I love explaining stuff, but I'll
hold it over him for the camera. So let's see. What was the question again? How do you build major seven chords? The formula? Okay, well the first thing is
sauce.
you have to know the scale. So if it's C, every single note in the scale has a number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So in this case, it's easy. C is easy, is what I mean. You play the chord with the 7. You can really put it anywhere. If you know the B flat shape, this is C, right? I'm just sliding that up. If I want, I can take that same 7 that I showed you, and you can do this. That's not so fun. It's not so easy to jump into. Some people like to do this for exercises, right? I don't know if you've heard that, but going back to the 7, you're basically putting the 7 of the scale in the chord. Okay, so another way I can play the C7, I can put that B here because it's a... Do you hear that? This is a trickier way to find the B in the C scale. Like, if I want, I could do that. I don't know why, just, the sound. But basically, the tension you have is between these two notes. So if you're going to do the G major scale, you did this last week, right? That's G major starting and ending on D. You find the 7. And this is G. You just go back one. I'm going to make it easier, okay? G, you go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 is G because it's the G scale. And you go back just 1 fret. That's the major 7. And then instead of G, or in this case, however you play it, I just put that one in there. If I want to put the F sharp somewhere else, it's a little harder to do here, but I can. So that's the basic formula. If another good example is D, you might know this shape or this shape, right? These three. Some people do it like this. My fingers can't do that. But you take the D and you just move it back, right? Because that's the D scale. And I'm going to go back up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I just add that 7 to the chord. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's tougher to do with certain keys on the ukulele, but that's the formula. The scale, go to 7 and put it in the chord that you want.
Well, like so going back even further, like to build a chord, you know, like I think this is basic music theory, like 1, 3, 5. So the chord would be 1, 3, 5, and you're just adding that 7. So now the chord, instead of just being 1, 3, 5, is 1, 3, 5, 7.
Yeah.
In our C chord here, here's our, just if we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So here's our 1, then 1, 2, 3. So 1 and 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is here. So 1, 1, 3, 1, 3, 5, and then adding that 7 that Abe showed us, would build that chord.
So basically, you would just need to know your scale, and then you number your scale, and then you pick
1,
out
3, 5,
notes from
7.
the scale and make a chord.
Did this person ask for any specific chord or scale? Like
No.
E flat?
No.
He just said
Just major 7 chords.
I think your answer was good because he said, "Oh, so simple, thank you." So
Yeah,
You are welcome.
There is you know,
adding the
if
7.
we're looking at format, the way that I learned ukulele was like via shapes. So if you're looking at shapes, let's take a look at our major chord shapes. We have like this major chord shape, this major chord shape, and really this major chord shape,
And then E.
and then this,
Yeah.
and then so like right. So if you can figure out the major 7 chord shape or to modify it to a major 7 from all of those. For example, the one that Abe showed us with the C and the C7. So whenever you have this chord shape, so for example, if I'm playing F, I can use that same chord shape to play F major 7. Or just this G major 7 that he showed us earlier, I can move it up 2 frets, and it becomes A major 7. And then it becomes B flat major 7, C major 7 up here.
So what are you doing here? Because
Huh?
on the video, it's not clear to me.
Oh,
I know what you're doing,
there,
but
there it is.
there you go. Okay.
There it is.
Yeah.
So that
So
bar.
because we're kind of
Okay.
barring the bottom 3 and then the top here. So, and you know the one that Albert showed for this one, you can bring that up as well. So if you memorize the the chord shape, it should be
It's
a little bit
movable,
easier.
like-
It's movable, yeah.
Like
I have a
most
student
chord
who
shapes.
I'm trying to teach him B flat,
Mhm.
right? And he does not like it. So what he does is B flat major 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's already
Totally fine.
moving
Already
into that,
doing-
right?
yeah.
You just take your finger off, and that's the major 7 for B flat.
Yeah, I love that chord.
It's easier than B flat.
Yeah.
So whatever. Then there's the weird one, like what I was doing earlier. I never see this with C, but it's
I do
possible.
it like this.
Okay.
Because it's kind of like a D minor, you know? Like
Yeah.
the way you would hold D minor, just put your pointer
Yeah.
finger down that
So
way.
you can just turn it into the okay.
So good stuff. I mean, that's like Abe's. What Abe was saying.
why I'm
He's given us the music theory behind it, like 1, 3, 5, and major 7 and stuff. If you want to take it a little bit more easy, just
Use the shapes.
Use the shapes. Yeah, use the shapes.
I think something that confuses people is when like we use like the C major chord shape because they don't get that G is doubled on, or like you're playing G with the high string, right? And actually that C major is like, or that C note, you're doubling it up. But then that's actually like the easiest chord probably to add extensions and to experiment with.
Because your C chord
C6.
is the top 3.
Yeah.
Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
What's
So
a
you got
C6?
Yeah.
C6 right
Yeah.
there. All right. A minor 7.
I always felt weird calling this A minor 7 without, actually in either case, low or high G, because there's no A in the bass. Without a bass,
You want
it's
that
like
root. You want that
Yeah.
roots.
Yeah.
That's like the D7 too,
Like
right?
the Hawaiian
doesn't
D7.
have-
Yeah.
I mean, this sounds really good though to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway,
And like, it's pretty amazing if you find somebody like a old uncle who plays ukulele.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, this is D7. Even if they know the name D7, right? They're like, oh no, you just make this chord with the puka inside. Like, that's what they call it.
The cat's hand, the claw.
Music theory isn't exactly like the forte in Hawaii. You know,
Rob, do we have any more questions?
Dan asked, what are the pros and cons of super scale lengths, like a super concert or a super tenor?
Super tenor. Super tenor means 19-inch.
Okay.
I'm not sure what a super concert is. That's a tenor length?
Yeah, tenor.
Okay.
Neck on a concert body.
Okay,
Yeah.
I have a little bit of interest in this area, actually. Okay, so this is probably 17 inches, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a tenor. Yeah. And the way that's measured is bridge to nut. When you extend this, apparently it was a secret in the Kamaka family, right? They would do 19-inch tenors within the family. And now more and more you can see it where people are doing 17. I don't know if there's 18. I've seen 19-inch baritones. And then, of course, there's the tenor length with the concert body. I'm not so familiar with that one. It's like the playability of a tenor, but the sound of a concert. If you like the sound of a concert, it's kind of a mix between soprano and tenor. But for the tenor with a longer neck, there's a few things that it's really good for. If you, depending on the strings, of course, you can either get more tension or you can drop your tuning more easily to like B flat 6. And some ukuleles really like that. I have an ukulele now that if I tune it up to D6, all the strings up 2 steps, then the ukulele sings more. But then I can't play it with other people because I don't have any training in that key.
Transposing.
So the main thing is like playability and sound. Like when your strings are tuned up or down, and the length of the scale affects this, the soundboard will react differently because there'll be more pounds or less pounds depending on which way you go. And it'll just react differently. It'll sound louder in some cases. Some cases it'll just sound gross.
Have you seen those ukuleles that do it backwards? So it's usually you have the necks, a size up, right? There's some where like it's a tenor body, but like a concert neck.
I haven't played any of those. That sounds kind of
like
weird.
Frankenstein weird. And like I played some, and I was like, this doesn't feel right. Like, it just feels too short. Like I don't know if I like this. You know?
What was it? I played Chemo's. He has a 19-inch baritone, but it's tuned GCEA. Okay. And I don't know how to describe it really. There's more room on the fretboard. I think that's the main consideration. And then it just sounds really sweet. I don't know how to put it otherwise. Because it's a little, 19 inches is a little short for a baritone. So he said if you tune it to a baritone, DGBE, it's a little muddy. So he tuned it up, GCEA, and it just sounds really crystal clear, but there's some mellowness that you usually get in a baritone. So the different scale lengths and the different sizes, it's like a mix of the bodies, and you just have to really play them to feel them, because I've listened to a lot of them on recordings, and it's really hard to tell the difference. A lot of it is in the playability, how it feels in your fingers. Some of them, it'll be tighter, and it'll be harder to push the strings down. But yeah, I don't think it's a fad. I think it's good to play with the length because everything just reacts differently, and in some cases it just sounds better. So I don't know.
Play better, live better,
sweat better,
sweat better,
sweating more. I sweat a lot. That's something you should know about me.
So for those of you folks listening, if you go and listen to Abe's podcast, or when you go listen to Abe's podcast, you can listen to part 1 of this discussion. This is actually part 2. We recorded his podcast first, and which will be out not for a while, because you got a bunch of guests. You knocked off a lot on your list, like when you came to Hawaii.
Yeah, I'm going on a fact-finding tour, or an ook-finding tour. I don't know.
Oh, there you go.
I'm here on Kauai for the day, and I'm usually, most of the time, I wish I was in Oahu, but no, just for the week, and then I'll be at the Ukulele Festival. So that's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, man, I'm stoked
amazing
for you.
players.
So this is part 2, and you can listen to part 1 when he puts it up. So we're basically Tarantinoing it, and we're gonna go the ending first, and then you can go listen to. But definitely check out his pod. Who else can our audience expect to listen in on your podcast? Any other notable uke players?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, you want to flex a little bit? Flex.
Kimo Hussey for sure. yeah, I've been thinking like, who am I interviewing? And I'm so tired. It's hard to. I stopped by Aloha, so I met with Paul Okami. Tonight I'll be at Hawaii Music Supply.
Nice.
Yesterday I also met with Dr. Byron Yasui. Tomorrow I'm going to talk with Jody and Honoka. And I think that's it for now.
So lots.
There's got to be like a couple that I'm forgetting. I have it all written down. Craig and Sarah, that's right. Oh, see,
friends of the show.
Thank you for reminding me. That's right. And there's someone else, Kamaka. I'm going to talk to Chris Kamaka.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you talk to Kanlia guys?
Not yet. I'm not sure who's going to work out. Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully. I did stop by there. I had something happen with my bridge, and I was freaking out, but they fixed it in like 2 seconds. So, Kanlia is amazing.
They're good stuff.
Live better.
They're good stuff. Live better. Play better.
This is not sponsored.
I saw
although I wish it was.
Oh, the show is sponsored by Ukulele. See how the I saw that for the first time when they started rolling out that market and stuff. Play better. Is that like a command? Or like, are you telling me like you should just play better? Yeah. Like,
are you saying I suck?
Yeah. Are you saying I'm terrible? Like, well, you should just play better instruments. Like, oh, okay. Play Kanye. I already do that. It's like,
kind of.
How else do I play better? Willie K model, perhaps. You know. But it always kind of confused me. I thought it was like a command and stuff because there's like a period at the end.
Kind
right? Of like play better than period or live better period.
Live better, okay?
Just do it, all right?
No, that's copyrighted, right?
Is it?
Just do it.
Oh yeah, well, well, I thought you meant play better. I was like, did they copyright that? Like, holy snap!
It was fast.
All right, any other questions, guy?
Kevin Bay said, I've been having pain at the base of my thumb below the first knuckle after playing songs with a lot of bar chords. I've been playing without the thumb, but should I just give it a rest?
Well, if you're getting pain in your thumb, then that means you're pinching those chords. Like, you shouldn't be pinching, those chords, especially bar chords and stuff. Bar chords should be able to, or all chords, should be able to hold themselves without having to pinch it from the back. We always tell people that if you hold your ukulele correctly, you shouldn't have to pinch your chords. So if you're holding it correctly, pointing to where you need to strum, which is kind of right here with the seat spot, and your forearm just kind of rests down on the top of the lower bout of your ukulele, and that's kind of it's going to cause you to do this kind of seesaw movements. And if I were to take my pointer finger, if I were to take play a B minor chord, and then see if I can push it back like this, that should be enough. See, my thumb is all the way back here.
Hey, I can do it too.
Yeah. So like you don't need to like have this thumb really like pushing in and stuff. That's probably what's giving you all that trouble and that pain. So if you if you rely more on the fingers on top instead of your thumb kind of pinching that chord, because your thumb is just here to support the ukulele. It's not really to pinch it. It's just there to hold it in hold it in
kind
place.
Of stabilize.
Yeah. So you're using your thumb to stabilize it. And for my thumb, I like to actually kind of offset it right here on this side, so it's not like directly behind that finger. Because if you have it like this, then your hand is kind of in an awkward position, like you're gonna do a puppet, But if you have it to the side, then that's more of like a comfortable hand position that you would have, like this, Like this? Yeah, that's be more comfortable. Yeah, like this.
I think having that thumb, or like having the thumb directly behind your finger, is what gives a lot of people pain. Like, even if they're not pinching, right? Because that's what Kevin said. He said that he's trying not to use his thumb. Yeah. So I'm thinking more it's like how he's positioning his thumb in relationship to the rest of his thumb. I
actually like my thumb using the flesh part, the pad of my thumb to kind of go back like this. Yeah, there it is, like that. So to kind of do it like this, kind of offset it, it's kind of like me doing an okay, with my thumb like this. Put it there, and then bam, there lays the pointer finger for the B minor chord. You're just kind of doing this seesaw action with that.
I know bass players say that try to have your thumb point to the headstock.
Alright, yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
Like, it's the same thing as you're doing, right? But like, just in any position, try to have your thumb, because that's the most natural position for your thumb anyway.
Yeah, like I was saying, if you're kind of pinching it this way, it was like puppet mode. You don't want to do puppets.
You want your wrist to be straight too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be.
A lot of people do this or like do this and stuff.
I tend to relax to this because I played guitar before this. So my my sense of where my thumb should be is naturally a little like that.
Yeah.
The action could be a little high on his ukulele, but I feel like taking a break would be a great idea.
Yeah.
To me, it sounds like just,
rested.
it's just soreness from working out. You're working out. You're doing a good job. I remember that pain when I started doing bar chords on a guitar. So be grateful this is not a guitar. It's a lot harder. It was an acoustic, and the action was so high. I didn't realize it until later. It made me tougher, but that.
Like, why
that
is
pain,
your guitar playing? It's so much easier to play.
Yeah, exactly. Especially when you pick up an electric after working on a tough acoustic,
definitely.
it's like, this is like butter. But yeah, keep working it. Take a break. Take care of yourself. And just keep in mind where things are.
Position.
Yeah.
I never thought about that though.
Yeah, you don't really need
Yeah, because you're just
pressure
doing
from
that.
the
You don't
back.
really need pressure. So this
Yeah.
it basically just proves that you don't need to pinch it.
So
Some
if you have a
people feel-
strap,
Yeah.
you can just do this, right? Just put everything up there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the Benny Chong chords.
Yeah.
Right?
There you go.
Yeah.
I can't do it. Whatever. It's as far as possible though, because you can't do this because I can do that.
Well, it's kind of like having that D bass or that D and A bass, and then you have like this D chord or this F sharp. Maybe if you want to get that F sharp down, maybe this A D and then D here and then A. That would be
nice.
that Benny Chong chord.
I can't do the F sharp.
So you do something like D D D.
I'd just rather do this.
Then like hit that like, afterwards. 'Cause
I'd rather do this.
There you go.
yeah.
Forget breaking my hand. Or there we go.
Artificial.
Artificial harmonic.
I heard from someone that Calais is working on these harmonic chords.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen it yet though. Like you can do the melody, but he does chords.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it
that was
yet.
stolen from Imua.
Yeah.
Okay.
Imua did it.
Ah, okay.
Imua Garza. See, that guy's like an alien though. Like doesn't count. I was working on squealies for a while. Like how you would do it like the electric guitar. So instead of going, like
Oh yeah,
like,
pinch harmonics or something.
yeah.
Nice.
There it is.
You gotta be really accurate though.
I gave up on it.
That's
after
the
a while.
next
I was like,
UU lesson.
plus play. Yeah. So check out part 1 to understand what we're talking about. UU plus plus. Yeah.
Because
Because I'm using the thumb to get that note. So instead of doing this, because you would kind of
You need your nail too for that, right?
No, not necessarily.
What are you picking? You're just picking it with your thumb?
Oh no, I'm picking with my middle finger.
Oh, I see.
So the
Okay,
middle
okay.
finger hits it going up,
And then the thumb is hitting
And
the
the thumb is
harmonic.
hitting
Ah, okay.
so it looks a little bit more natural than doing this, because
Yeah,
this
yeah.
doesn't really look that natural, and it's slower.
It's like a Spider-Man thing going
And
on.
you can kind of do it too, like what Calais talked about. So if I want to do an E minor chord, so I can get that. See, Calais, Aldrine Guerrero did it. So because with this, it's like E minor, you can do it that way. You can also get a C chord. So if you get a C chord, you can get it that
That's
way
wild.
as well.
Whew. You're gonna have to work on that.
the squealies are hard too, because originally they're for electric guitar, and you use the pickup to really get the sound out of them, and
You work less.
it's not really heard on acoustic instruments.
Yeah.
Any questions?
I'm sure Tommy Emmanuel probably does it.
Oh yeah, Tommy did it, Calais.
Probably.
Yeah.
That guy.
That guy plays guitar without a guitar. That's
Oh my gosh.
not fair.
Go ahead.
So I think this is John. John asks, can you discuss some strategies for breaking from a reliance on reading printed arrangements? I guess I'm asking how one can memorize a song, play without looking at the music.
How to memorize music.
How to go from relying on the music to being
I'm
completely
guessing
independent.
I'm guessing like chord sheets, right? Just
Yeah.
like lyrics
Okay.
and chords.
Yeah, there's two things I'm thinking of. One is memorizing songs, and the other is being able to jump in a song no matter what. Does that make sense? Is that kind of?
Yeah.
I'm guessing it sounds like that's what he's asking. I'm really bad at memorizing music, but I can usually figure out songs pretty well. I spend most of my time figuring them out on the piano, though, unfortunately, because of the range. And I can play all of them at the same time, right? With this, it's like, suddenly F sharp is not accessible unless I don't play this, right? So especially this low G, I don't have as many notes accessible. But back to the question, memorizing music, for me, the thing that works best is two things. I will play it maybe once or twice with the sheet, and I'll just take it away and I'll see how I do. And I have to be really honest with myself, like, do I suck at this? Yes, it's okay. I'll try it again with the page. Another thing that works for me is I'll write out the lyrics by hand. So it forces me to slowly go through every single part. And then after a while, I get like this mental map in my head of the song. This happened, I play Cherry Wine by Hosier sometimes. And it's really embarrassing to not know the words because everybody knows the words. If I play it anywhere and somebody knows it, and I don't know the words, so, or if it's a Beatles song, for example, it's like, you better know the words.
That's not it.
So somebody will say that. So play it with the sheet and just force yourself to put it away. If you need to remember the chord shapes and the chords that go with it, I've seen people write notepads without the lyrics, just the chord structure. Like this is the verse, this is the chorus, and they'll do the same thing. They'll play through the song, try to sing it, and then force themselves to not look at it. And that way you're kind of like slowly grading yourself. You have to just be honest and be like, oh, well, I messed up the second verse. So then maybe you just work on that. And then you got to put it all together because when you perform, you're going to do the whole thing, right? You're not going to do just one verse. I only know the first verse, guys, so that's all I'm going to do.
That's what we do.
In terms of jumping into songs and hearing them, the thing I gravitate to first is the bass. If there is bass, find out what the bass notes are. You can kind of figure them out on the ukulele, but usually they're an octave or so below the ukulele. So if you can match them, it's kind of like ear training. You start there. That's why I usually move to the piano because I can find the bass right away.
Because it's usually being the root.
Yeah.
And that'll give you the root of
the
that
root.
chord.
Then you get the chords, and then once you know the key of the song, then it's a lot easier because then you only have 8 chords. No, usually 6 at the most. Never 8. 8 is like C and C. Those are the same chords. But yeah, that's kind of how I do it when I jump into a song. Find the bass. The bass helps me figure out the key, and then I can just figure out what the chords are. Sometimes I go on like Ultimate Guitar to look for chord sheets, and they're so wrong, and they have 5 stars. I don't know how they get 5 stars.
Version 12.
But it's kind of like, how do you tell that they're wrong when they have 5 stars? For me, it's like I just play it, and then I can tell. Like if I'm singing this part and I listen to the original, and I'm like, something's wrong. Sometimes it's the capo, and I miss. Oh, capo 2. Oh, okay. But sometimes it's just the chord is way off. Like a common one I see is there's A, and then there's F sharp minor. They're very similar in any context, especially on the ukulele. What's another one that I see often? G and E minor. If you're playing guitar, it's easy to hear because then the bass is very strongly different. But that's kind of how I do it in a nutshell.
If you break it down like that, we're talking about like there's 8 different chords. No, actually, there's 6 different chords. We can think of it as 3 different chords at this point.
Usually there's 3.
Yeah, like it's relative majors or relative minors, so it's even easier. So once you get that bass note down and you hear it and you match it, it's easy.
All right. The latest video that we just put out, the ukulele challenge, where you're like, that's exactly what you're doing in the video.
We're in the car.
Yeah, and I think what you do, like people are like amazed by it. They're like, how does he figure it out so fast and stuff? But it's just that it's like you have you kind of make a library of all the songs that you do know, and you just use all of that to like
for
as
reference.
Yeah.
I mean, like there's only so much chord progressions, that people use nowadays. Yeah. Sometimes people get creative with their their chord progressions and stuff, and sometimes it's gonna be hard, like those punk songs that I can't hear. Like, watch the video for you to get that reference. I missed one. It was a punk song because it was all A5, C5, F5,
all 5 chords.
I was like,
so it was like it wasn't a major and it wasn't a minor, so it's hard to hear.
I heard the A5 first, and then it goes to C, so I thought it was in the key of A, and I would never go to C from the key of A.
Yeah.
But then I was like, what is that second chord? And then it had like a G. I'm like, how does it have A, the A note and the G note in there? Like, this is so dumb.
Constant modulation.
Me and Aaron were like, when he was working on it, we were talking about that, and Aaron was like, oh, can you like try and figure out the song on guitar? and I was like, I think this is supposed to be like a minor chord, but they don't play. They only play the root note, so it's like really hard to tell.
Yeah, and it was just messing up my
exactly
ear. But yeah, check it out if you guys haven't seen the newest episode of Ukulele Challenge. Check that out. Have you checked out our Ukulele Challenge show? We have a show on YouTube called Ukulele Challenge.
No, I was thinking of the song challenge.
Oh yeah, we do have a song challenge here on Thursday Live Lesson, but we also do a ukulele challenge where I basically sit down and then I don't know what's gonna happen, and these guys are like, figure out this song, and you have 1 hour, and it's like, what? And it's just some crazy kid from Singapore or whatever. He like wrote a song that sounds like a Jake song. Like I have 1 hour to figure it out. I'm like, what the heck?
That sounds awesome. I will check it out.
And then do you play video games at all?
Yeah.
Have you played Undertale?
No.
So
only a little bit.
It's like a PC game. Yeah. So anyway, like these guys are.
Yep, we're back now.
Okay, we're back now. So, man, that's a cool
Stop
backflip.
goofing
Man,
off.
dude, I didn't even know you could do 3 backflips.
I didn't know either.
Without a trampoline. Jeez.
It's right here.
Did you get that, guy? Did you get it on recording?
Yeah.
Oh, don't tell me it's
missed
cut
the
off.
mics and everything.
My God, dude, can you do that again?
My legs are too tired.
Oh man, hi. He flew all the way from Connecticut to show us his triple backflip. What happened?
The video was still going. The audio was.
The audio
only,
was.
So
Yeah.
We've been caught in a lie.
Well, no, he still did it. Remember when you sang just like Elvis when you did those 3? Now the audience is never gonna hear it.
Never gonna hear it.
You know what I mean? If they don't get to hear it, then we just shouldn't show it at all. So I guess we're just gonna have to cut that.
Cut it all.
They're not gonna get to see him do a triple backflip. It's a shame.
You
really.
can only see if you're here live.
Yeah, for
right?
you plus. plus.
If you're seeing the video afterwards, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You missed out. You missed out.
Missed out.
I didn't know you're an ice skater.
Wait, I thought I did a backflip.
Yeah, they
Ice skating?
backflip, right? I don't know. I don't watch.
Are there any ice skaters in Hawaii?
There's an ice skating rink on
Really?
Oahu.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, we got some.
We have like Olympic athletes from Hawaii.
Yeah, man.
Well, ice sport Olympic athletes from Hawaii. That's
Don't
impressive.
challenge us at hockey, but we can dance.
I heard once you can ski on the Big Island. Is that true?
Well, there's snow up there.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think people do ski and snowboard up. Like,
I didn't want to go that far. I knew there was snow, but I didn't know
If there's snow, you can snowboard.
There are no ski lifts though.
Oh, okay.
You just climb up.
Take a helicopter up.
You just jump in the back of a pickup truck.
That's pretty
drive
Hawaii style.
There you go. Yeah.
Do we have any more questions, Kahai?
that was pretty much it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that last question was about kind of remembering or how to play a song. So I mean there are kind of 2 parts to that too, right? So it's either like the lyrics or the chords or both. And so if you're having trouble with the lyrics, just make sure that you can sing it without anything, like even
Just
without
playing
your
your car or
ukulele,
something,
just being able to sing it all the way through, memorizing the lyrics, and then playing, just like play along with the song, with the right chords.
Right.
Just try to remember as much as you can, and then later you can put them together. But it's probably either one or the 2 that you're having a problem with, right? So
I suggest practicing with the after track or something. Because you can that's kind of like a guide that you don't need the music in front of you. Like if the chords change, you'll hear the chords change. And you know that you're not in that, you're not on the right chord. You quickly just kind of adjust yourself. The lyrics are there, you're singing along, but and then you just kind of take it away and take it away and take it away. So
Take it away. Take it away
now. Take it away now.
The nice thing about playing with the track is you can't stop. It'll keep going.
Yeah.
So that's a good challenge to force yourself to remember it.
Yeah.
And if you don't, it's okay. They'll tell you. They'll sing the lyrics to you.
Yeah. Tim McGraw's like, no, it's about trucks.
So John said that I read a lot of chord melody arrangements and get lost in the finger picking stuff. That is a little tricky, but
trickier.
Something to know about chord melody too is a lot of that finger picking, it's kind of not set in stone. It's
it's very improvised often.
So a lot of it is just like ghost notes or like included notes that you don't really need to nail 100%. It's like this is a suggestion for what you could do.
Well, with the with instrumental stuff, like chord melodies and solos and whatnot, I suggest like doing things in sections. Like if you like just take just the verse, or maybe just the chorus. If you like the chorus a lot and stuff, just learn the chorus part, work on the chorus just a bunch, and take away the music and just see if you can get the chorus down, and then go to the verse. And you already know the chorus, so just connect the verse with the chorus. And then if there's like a bridge or something, then go, just do it section by section. Trying to take on the whole thing, as a whole, and trying to memorize all of it at one time, it's not as efficient as if you broke it down into pieces.
I've heard you like talking to people in one-on-one coaching and private lessons, where you'll even tell them like, don't like finger pick the chords, just strum them. Like just try to like learn just the chord.
Just get the left
first.
hand, because even if it is like a finger picking whatever, like if it's if it's a chord melody, instead of kind of finger picking on this hand, just kind of strum it so that you'll get the left hand stuff and you're not worrying about the right hand, if you're finger picking the right notes and whatever, and then add the right hand afterwards, So, and even then, when I start to add the right hand, I'll go with just like a thumb strum down, or maybe just like just the two fingers and then add the third finger, or it's really taking things by in small chunks. Like unless you have like a performance coming up and stuff, there's really no no reason for you to rush things. So just kind of take your time and learn it that way.
One thing I do for melodies, in particular, like instrumentals, or I should say, one thing I do for instrumentals is I focus on the melody first instead of all the little things that are going on, and then later I'll add what the chord shapes are. Because often if there's a there's like a little melody on the top on the higher strings, and then there's a chord shape, but usually it doesn't write 2 2 1. If it's a D minor, it'll put like the 2, and then it'll put the 2, and then it'll put the 1, right, going this way across or this way if you're looking at the video. So what I'll do is I'll find the melody. If it's that's right, the song Short and Bread? So I'll just do that. I'll figure out what is the melody, and then if it's almost all C in this case. So in that case, it's like I'm putting emphasis on the melody, and I'm just going to throw in the chords on top. And I'm not going to worry about how to play it, because most of the time, no one will know. If I just play the chords in there, and my fingers are just like, figure it out, but play the melody correctly. That's the most important part that people will remember.
I know there's lessons that we've put out where Aldrine, you're like playing something, and then somebody will be like, but you guys didn't include this part in the tab. It's like, well, those are ghost notes. Like they're like, Aldrine kind of plays them, but even then it's so hard to even really hear. They're just like, and those things, they're just filling gaps. Like you can do anything as long as it's like kind of in the key, then it should be fine.
Because I just didn't want didn't want that beat to be empty. I wanted to keep like the beat going, and the groove kind of suffers if you don't add the little ghost notes or the little fill-ins and stuff in there.
That's for the advanced students to figure out.
Just do it. The art of moving.
And then it's funny though too, because then we do put it in, and then people are like, I don't understand what's all these extra notes for.
Why'd you have too much notes? I wanted you to add some notes.
The melody is the most important as long as it's there.
I'm trying.
All right. So in our last 10 minutes, do we have any questions for Abe? Because part 1, he asked us a question, so we got to return the favor. Who is your top 3 ukulele players in this room?
In this room, do I have to rank them?
And why is it Kahai? Why is Kahai all 3 of them?
When you started that question, I was like, this is actually a pretty good question. Like, who is your top 3 like ukulele players, like right now or something? But
who's okay? So you how long have you been playing ukulele?
I don't even know. Maybe 7 years.
So okay, you've played a handful of ukuleles at this point. I'm guessing a handful of different ukuleles and stuff. What would you say is your brand of choice and why,
Brand
and
of
what are
choice.
the what are the differences between other brands? Because a lot of our students always is like, what brand do you recommend? What this and whatever.
The one
we
you
want to
like.
know. Yeah, exactly. But no one wants to hear that answer. Like they want like
tough.
just like I don't want you to tell me how to make ice cream. Just give me ice cream, right? Like I don't want to hear 2-4, 2-3-5, 2-3-5. So same question to you, like. If you were to pick a brand and why not the other brands?
That's a really tough question.
Yeah,
Okay,
listening, by the way.
So I absolutely love. It's funny because I don't know if you guys obviously know this, but the nut, the bridge, the neck, whatever. This space is wider on kanileas. I didn't know that for a long time. I have a kanilea, I have a pono and a koaloha. What else do I have? I played a lot of ukuleles because the best way to find out what is the best ukulele for you is to play it and see if you like it. At the moment, I feel like I like pono the best, but it's a little unfair because I have a baritone and it's rosewood. And somehow, every time I play any rosewood ukulele, especially baritones, I just love the sound.
Rich tone.
So it's a little unfair. I have a kanilea and a pono tenor, and they're both so different. It's really hard to... I love my kanilea. It's really, really light. That's one of the things I like about it. And it's like a plain UV finish. It's got the numbers inlaid on the frets, just like Matt Dahlberg for my students.
Teaching one.
Yeah, it's got the the slotted headstock. It's really nice, but the pono tenor I have and the baritone, they're so heavy. A lot of people don't like ponos, but somehow I feel like I like ponos best. But it's a really hard call. And then also my koaloha, I love it. They have the binding on the neck that keeps the frets from popping out. And all of them feel really different. But at least I can say with certainty, because I don't want to be a traditional parent and say, I love you all equally. I love
There's
all
definitely
of you
some
equally.
kids that you love more.
All the kamakas I've played, I don't have them, but they're all amazing. I played Jake's. Oh, it's so nice. The first time I've ever played a divine ukulele, really nice. Yeah, it's a tough call, but right now I'm most in love with my rosewood pono baritone. So that's what I'm gonna go with. I like the extra length. I'm originally a guitarist. I don't really play guitar now still, but just that extra little bit of, and somehow I feel like it works with my voice and other people I play with more. But it's hard. I don't want to throw my kanilea under the bus, but
no, you're not. It
is
really
what
is
it is.
personal preference. It's not like you don't like kanileas because you own one.
Yeah,
So it's
exactly,
like,
exactly.
You're not saying that at all. But like it's really apples and oranges between like all the brands and stuff. Like Pono delivers like a certain sound, kanilea delivers a certain sound, Koaloha delivers a certain sound. That's why I was kind of interested in your take of like what that is, because like for me it's like, I have my opinions on like what the differences is, but then when I ask someone else, like it's completely different sometimes. So, but it might be because they got a different kind of ukulele. For you, it's that rosewood like pono, baritone. Is it?
Yeah, baritone.
Yeah, so baritone. So like that has all the markings of being such a mellow, warm sounding instrument. So like I could see why. Like, that would be that would be your favorite. So.
I think it too, like how you said, like right now this is my favorite ukulele.
Yeah.
I know I've definitely had times where like I pick up one of my other guitars and I'm like, oh my god, I forgot how good this guitar sounds. Like,
amazing.
Yeah, and
I'll
just
leave
play
this
it.
out more.
Play it for like a week and then I'd be like, oh yeah, this is really good. And then I go back to my other guitar, like this one sounds great too.
This one is my favorite now.
Yeah, short-term memory loss, right?
You
like-
just need to combine them.
Yeah, it's like
can
I guess I
strings
did buy
also.
them for a reason. Yeah, so I think that does like your taste kind of does change over time, and it kind of.
Wait, what got you interested in ukulele? Is there a...
I'm not exactly sure. I know at some point, I've been a music teacher longer than I played ukulele. I got a makala, and I don't know why. I think it was more of a joke or like to have like a cheap ukulele lying around, because I played guitar more at that point and piano, and I was a general music teacher. And at some point I decided, or I realized I could get a Pono for $300. And I thought, oh, I might as well, like take this super cheap and just get one that's decent. It's a solid top. And I knew as a guitarist, solid top means so good. But so I got the Pono, and then I realized ukuleles can sound good.
Uh-huh.
So
And
that's
you
when
can
I
play
fell
a
in
lot
love
of
with it.
different things with
Yeah,
it,
and then I started to look into it as a classroom instrument. So then I took the James Hill Ukulele Initiative
nice.
training.
Yeah.
And it's awesome because I get my students now to play music,
Yeah.
just straight notes on the ukulele. It's fantastic. So I don't want to just teach them ukulele. I want them to learn music literacy.
Yep.
And then if they want to play something else, fine. Later, they can. At my school now, we do not have the capabilities of teaching everybody piano, for example, or everybody trumpet, you know. I don't even play trumpet or violin, but yeah, it's kind of... And then from there, just like, you know, I fell down the hole. Oh, I got to get all of them.
It's a really good gateway instrument.
Yeah.
More so than the recorder or, like, you know, right? Which was traditionally, right? A lot of schools use the recorders.
Yeah, they still do.
Yeah.
I mean, they're still very functional because it gets you into band, but you can't sing while you're playing it. If you mess up, your parents hate you.
Yeah.
The squeaking. I noticed with especially with my ukuleles, the kanilea, I told them to make it low G. Anytime I put high G, it sucks. It just sucks.
Because it was
and then some other
for,
strings, the strings I have on now, I just put them on, and I don't know why I don't like them at all. But that's the other thing. It's like somehow the strings I have on the Pono right now are so perfect. They're like Thomas stick, squeakless, wound, and they just work so well. My kanilea always likes low G, whatever reason. I don't know why. So there was a certain point where it was my favorite, and then my other ones were my favorite. But right now, that Pono baritone sings, and it just sustains. It's like you play something, and it's like, stop, no, don't stop.
No, don't stop.
One last call.
We have a question from the chat, actually.
Okay, go ahead.
What CD is a must-have in ukulele music collection?
Kyle Creator Boys.
Greatest hits.
Greatest hits. Yeah.
We answered this on
part
Abe's
one,
podcast.
yeah.
Actually, we answered it more in depth too.
Yeah.
We did like 4 for everybody.
Yeah.
We won't ruin the surprise. You just gotta go listen to it. How about that? Yeah, how about that?
Okay. Is there something?
But to answer your question, Kyle Creator Boys,
greatest hits. Can I expand on that and see what people think of in the last year? What would be an album? Because actually, when I look back at that, I listened to that a lot with my kids and the other CDs, and I realized like I was like how old, like 4 when that came out or something like that. It's like it's really old. It's really good, but is there anything in the past year you could think of that is a must-have?
Ukulele wise,
Yeah.
I mean, well, kind of like artists and stuff. Okay, all right.
Whoa, what a coincidence.
No, but I mean, in all seriousness and stuff, actually, that's a really good one because you got Kapena in there. You know, they're legends in the industry and stuff, and you got like traditional Hawaiian stuff. You got like more modern stuff with say Carly G. You know, you got Willie K in there.
A lot of Hoku Hana awards.
Exactly. You know, that's I mean, I'm gonna sound like a corporate shill, but like really, like it's one that came out, you know, within the last year that like I feel, you know, really like captures good variety of ukulele. Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah,
I was thinking that one too. That's a hard question, but I keep forgetting about that album. It's a perfect combination because when I think of certain artists, you know, everybody who's on that album, it's like they're really good, but I don't know. That's not enough. It's like there's. But that album has everything.
I mean, I was part of like Island Style Ukulele Volume 2, and I think they have an Island Style Ukulele Volume 3.
They do?
The invite.
Oh,
no, just joking. But
like those are good
but,
albums.
You know, like Island Style Ukulele Volume 3, good stuff. Like I got some great players in there. You know, you got Calais and pretty much everyone in the in the ukulele world, like in Hawaii, has done a track for that. But the thing is, I miss the variety of like having vocals and whatever. That's like strictly an instrumental album. You know, it's cool like that people get like inspired by like all these instrumentals and whatnot. But you know, like there needs to be like a variety and it needs to be like approachable to those people who don't want to be virtuosos and stuff, who want to just kind of strum a couple chords. You know,
is that on Spotify?
I believe so. Island Style Ukulele Volume 3. I know Volume 2 is. I'm not sure if Volume 3 is on there.
Actually. I don't keep up with it, but I put together a Spotify playlist called Great Ukulele Songs.
Can they subscribe to your playlist?
They definitely can. And basically, it is kind of exactly what you're talking about, like songs that I think everybody should know about. And I rotate them through, so it's not like Somewhere Over the Rainbow by Brett it was on there for a while, and I took it off because it's great, but you should know it if you're an ukulele player.
Yeah.
So that's another thing that you could do. It's called Great Ukulele Songs. I don't know if you could.
Ukulele songs. Oh, I got a guitar on it.
Ukulele on there. Anyway, yeah, that's on Spotify. Not everybody uses Spotify. I personally switched from Spotify to Apple Music because there's more music that I like. Like Kyle Creator Boys is on Apple Music.
Okay.
But anyway, those are great albums. Olakaina, Kyle Creator Boys. You gotta listen to that stuff. Of course, James, listen to your CD. Stuff like that.
I mean, maybe. But so one last question. I know it's time and stuff. One last question. You've met so much people in the ukulele world. Now you've interviewed a lot of ukulele people and stuff. Sum up the ukulele community in one word.
The ukulele community as a whole?
One word.
That's too easy. Aloha. It's a cliche, but it's so true. And I thought about this a lot, actually. It's like, that's the only way I can describe it. And if you're on the mainland and you don't go to enough ukulele workshops, you might not understand what I mean. But everyone who, especially the teachers and the players that I meet, anybody who works on anything, or if they're just a player who just loves playing, I think aloha is the best word. I'm from Connecticut, so I don't completely know. But
you get an idea.
Even though it's a cliche, I think that's the best word. It has to be.
Good answer.
Good answer.
Thank you.
It's Family Feud. Good answer.
How many points is that worth?
Can I actually ask one more question?
Sure.
Because this is something that we actually talked about asking a bunch of different people.
Okay.
So what is one thing that ukulele beginners should know? Whether it's technique or just general tips or anything. What is one thing that they should know?
Is this a super beginner? Like someone who just picked it up?
Just picked up.
Maybe they can play 3 chords.
Or they're just interested and want to get.
Yeah. Okay, well, maybe more philosophical, I would say. Don't worry, be happy. Just have fun. It's supposed to be fun. If you can't do something, just give it time. I know people that could not do C, and after a while they could do it. Same thing with B flat. Nobody likes B flat or E. It takes time. Just have fun with it. If a song has something that's too difficult, pick another song for a while. Take a break. Don't stress yourself out because it's not a stressful instrument. And then technique-wise, the thing that bugs me the most, as a teacher, don't do this. Don't play like this. I say this all the time. Your wrist gets crooked.
Yeah.
You want to see the fretboard, and you can't really see it like this. I understand.
Yeah.
But just trust yourself. You will figure out where the strings are, and your fingers will remember if you give them time. So back to my first point, give yourself time. Try to have the proper position. This position's been worked out over thousands of years, not just with the ukulele, but also classical guitar. So it's, you don't want to get hurt. Obviously, if you have a physical limitation, do the best that you can. Get a teacher in your face every once in a while. Don't just rely on YouTube. Get someone to see you every once in a while.
Get the feedback.
Even if it's just a friend, who plays better than you, you can just say, "Hey, can you check this out? I can't play this thing," and they might see something. They might not. I don't know. But back to my first point. Don't worry. Be happy. Have fun.
That's good answer. Good answer.
Where can people find you?
ukuleleabe.com, that's ABE, or ukepodcast.com. ukepodcast.com.
Do you want to give a shout out to anybody else?
Shout out to Ukulele Underground. And all my amazing kids and my wife. 4 kids. I miss them very much, but I'll see you guys soon.
Yeah, and to my wife and kid, I'll see you soon too, I guess.
In a few minutes.
I got one of those. Yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Thanks so much for tuning in. Make sure you check out the new videos that we have out. I think Kahai has something to say before we go.
Yeah, before we sign out, do you just want to tell them that next week we'll have a live lesson?
Yes, that's right.
But we won't have one-on-one
coaching. So we won't have one-on-one coaching next week, but we will have a live lesson. So make sure that you guys remember, you guys are not sticking around like where's Aldrine and start giving us angry emails and stuff.
That's next week.
Yeah. So next week we're going to San Francisco, so we kind of want to get ready a little bit, a little bit earlier. I gotta do some personal stuff and take care of that before I go off on that trip on Friday. So unfortunately, I can't do the one-on-one coaching. I will do one today. Abby's gonna hang out in the office with these guys while I do the one-on-one coaching.
We'll take him to lunch or something.
Oh yeah, no.
And
so,
leave you here.
Can do'sville, baby doll. But check out our new videos. We do have a new challenge video. So for those of you folks who like that video format or that show, there's a new episode that's out. How about the UU Plus solos? We have a new UU Plus solos coming out soon.
I think it's coming out next week.
Right
I don't know
man. Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
That's all we'll say.
Yeah. So keep your justice files ready, baby.
Something else too for the ukulele challenge. Like, if you guys have suggestions, like, let us know because we're looking for songs or ideas.
Yeah,
for challenges.
definitely. Yeah. So let us know. I mean, I can't see them, so that it remains a surprise and stuff. But let us know what you want me to figure out or any kind of challenges that you want me to take on. I'll take on whatever. I'm not scared to fail. I failed in the last one. But you're just gonna have to watch it to find out how I failed. So we'll see you guys next time. Have a great one. Thank you so much, Abe.
Thank you.
Hey,
it's fun.
So, back to Connecticut you go, or back to Oahu you go, and then
that's closer,
they'll slingshot you back to Connecticut. But yeah, have a great time this weekend, man.
Thank you.
So anytime you're in Kauai, stop by.
I will.
I'd love to talk to you again.
Yeah.
See you guys later. Aloha.
Aloha.